Why is it? Why is it that Americans are working harder than ever and still falling farther behind? That's really the question that we're going to be asking and talking about a lot because that is the key to everything that's going on. Why is it that people can work 40 hours a week and still not have their needs met? Not a life of luxury, but the basics. How can you work for a successful company and be making money for that company, but you can't afford the basics? That's the issue that we'll be talking about today. Because really, that's where we need to figure out what is going on with America today. Because why is it that the majority of people don't have savings? We see the stock market go up and up and up, but the salaries all stay the same. And then when we point that out and are like, hey, what's going on? We get blamed for it, right? We are told that it's our fault. Hey, why couldn't you figure it out, right? Well, they blame all of us. They make it feel like it is our fault for something that we had no control over. Because we can't control whether the boss gives us a raise. All we can do is show up and bust our butt every single day. So why is it? Why doesn't full-time work cover the basics? Why is it that you can walk into a Home Depot or a Walmart and those employees, even though they're making billions of dollars there, those employees don't care, right? And they don't have to pay those employees enough to care because they know that you as a customer, you can't go somewhere else. There are no more local general stores, that's for sure. There are hardly any local grocery stores. There are no local banks anymore. Barely any local newspapers, local pharmacies, local doctors' offices. Those mom and pop shops protected us from the big corporations. Because if we walked into Walmart and that Walmart employee treated us like crap, we would walk out and go to Debbie's General Store. So Walmart realized, oh, we could keep paying our employees more and more and more. We could keep competing with that local general store down the road, or we can just run that local general store out of business. And then we will never have to compete with that store again. It's not about individuals. It's about what's happening currently, collectively, as Americans as a whole. Over 80% of people don't even have a couple $1,000 savings. That's it. 80,000 or 80% of people, over 200 million people, don't even have a couple bit of savings. And then what do people say, right? Oh, well, they're just lazy. They should work harder. They should get better skills, without recognizing that all jobs should offer enough to live. Because a job isn't a charity case. A job is so that the employer can make more profit. It's the only reason you offer a job. Hey, I need to either make more profit or I need somebody to facilitate the profit that I'm already making. So if somebody is offering a job, not out of charity, but so that they can make more money, then that job that they are offering should cover the basics, should cover the cost of living. But that really is the problem, is that the majority of people are working full time for a job that does not cover the cost of living. And that's where the issue is, that our average salary and the average cost of living is about the freaking same. Our salary in most places is 60, 70 grand a year. And in most places, your average cost of living is going to be higher than that. The basics isn't hard, Bubbles. What do all humans need to live? Those are the basics, not luxury, need to live. So we all need food. We all need healthcare. And then we all need a house, right? Somewhere to get warm in. So those are the basics: food, housing, healthcare. Yep, water and oxygen too. But we're a little bit different on that, more difficult. So, but that's where food, housing, and healthcare. That's it. So if somebody's working 40 hours a week, their cost of living, the basics, should cover that. And that's the problem, Trap. It doesn't matter, right? I don't care what's going on. That job that somebody is offering, that job is not a charity case. They are offering a job so they can make more money. I'm a business owner. Every time I put out a job, hey, I've got this job available, right? I'm not trying to give charity to the other people in the community. I'm trying to make money. So if I am making a profit, then the salary I am offering should cover the cost of living. That's it. But what they do is they make sure that the cost of living and our salaries are close to the same thing, because then we can't cover any emergency. Then we're a little bit stuck. They pay us the bare minimum for us to keep that job. So that's why every time you walk into Home Depot, the employee goes running the other way, because Home Depot's paying them the bare minimum. Why can Home Depot pay their employees the bare minimum? It's because you can't walk out and go to a different hardware store. They got rid of all the local hardware stores. And it's so funny. I already mentioned it, right? What do people say? Get a different job, get a better skill, move somewhere else. But that is not recognizing the fact, why are you okay with a job not covering the basics? That's weird. You are putting the problem on the employee. The problem's with the employer. So I am an employer. I could not imagine offering a job that was $10 an hour. Well, the job is the reason that you are paying more taxes. And this is where, if people don't understand it after this, then it's not a good faith argument. So it's a trap. When an employer offers a job for $10 an hour, that $10 an hour does not cover the cost of living, the food, the housing, and the healthcare, right? Food, housing, and healthcare. If somebody is at a job where they work 40 hours a week, where they cannot afford food and housing and healthcare, do you think that person's costs of living just goes away? So they're making $10 an hour at, I don't know, Walmart, where they make $1 billion. And Walmart could pay enough for housing and enough for healthcare. So we're not debating anything, Monk. It's actually funny. I shouldn't even treat it like a debate. All we're saying is that corporations don't care about you. That's it. Corporations don't care about you. But corporations kind of have us in the palm of their hand, because even though corporations don't care about us, corporations control all the shit that we need. Corporations pretty much control all of our food. Corporations pretty much control all of our housing, right? Corporations control pretty much all of our healthcare, right? It's not about saying that. That's the facts. That's the facts, Jack. It's not about debating. That's not what this is about. We're a movement that is showing people that, hey, an economic situation is what we need to fix before we fix the political situation, right? Because here's where it is. It's a trap, said it. Just don't work or shop there if you don't like it. Yeah, and if we had somewhere else to buy our gasoline other than corporations, I wouldn't be complaining. If we had somewhere else to buy our health insurance other than corporations, I wouldn't be complaining. If corporations didn't completely control our political aspect or prospect, I wouldn't be complaining. I really think the problem is the fact that we don't have any other corporate options. You say, hey, just don't shop there. But I think the problem is that in most places, Walmart, Target, where else are you going to shop? And then let's go even further. The reason they control commodities are the things that we need to live. The reason they control commodities is because we can't not buy the things we need to live. We can't not buy food, but corporations are greedy and they want more profit. So they're like, shoot, we want to keep raising the prices all the time. But if we keep raising the prices on Scotch tape and light bulbs, People will just stop buying Scotch tape and light bulbs. So what can we raise the price on that people have to keep buying? That was their only question. What can we control that people have to keep buying? What can we raise the price on that people have to keep buying? Oh, the things people need to live, their food. Man, we could raise the price of meat through the roof and people are still going to eat meat. We could raise the price of cereal and grains and all the stuff, and they're going to completely raising the prices. So what it actually is over 85% of corporations on the S&P 500 have the same three top shareholders. So I'm actually with you as we need more competition. We don't have enough competition. So saying that new corporate places open all the time is ignoring the fact that all private equity pretty much controls our entire stock market. Over 85% of companies on the S&P 500 have the same three top shareholders. But Monk, they do raise prices. The problem is they're not raising salaries. So Monk, I would ask you, why would a corporation raise their prices if it doesn't cost more to make, if they're not raising their salaries, right? You create more local options. It's not more corporate options. I just said more alternative options. Because I think that people choose corporations not because they want to. People choose corporations because they are the only option. The majority of corporations all own each other. Well, I apologize, Trap. The majority of corporations all own a percentage of each other. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street are the top shareholders in over 85% of companies on the S&P 500. The community members, because look, y'all, corporations didn't always control our food. Communities controlled their food. And then corporations came in and were like, hey, rather than you go into 8 different farmers, why wouldn't you let us buy all the food from these 8 farmers and we'll put it in a local spot for you. You can trust us. We are local. We grew up here. We care about this community. So now you see, Bubbles. So it's not necessarily the corporation. It's once the people that run that corporation no longer care about the community. Because a lot of times what I think we see the issue is that the stakeholders and the shareholders of what the community depends on, their food, their housing, their healthcare, those people don't care about the community because they're no longer a part of it, right? They're no longer a part of it. J Monk, we're fine with increasing the prices. The salary needs to increase along with it, because the only way that the cost of living and the salary get to be the same is if they froze the salaries and then the cost of living slowly got higher. I don't know, with yearly inflation. So that's all that happened was because there's no competition, that means employers don't need to pay a higher salary, because if you walk into Walmart and you don't get a smile from the employee, you can't walk out. There's no local general store for you to go to. Walmart knows this. So rather than paying that employee enough to smile at you, Walmart knows that you don't have any other options. So why would they pay them enough to smile at you? And this is where, because there should be competition, because there should be, and that's where I don't know why I'm talking to this. So people like J Monk, they are either arguing in bad faith, they're just arguing in bad faith. They don't understand, right? So that's where Benjo Boy, I deleted it. I got rid of him because that is another huge part of what we talk about. Only 30% of Americans want this. 70% of us are ready to move the fuck forward and say, can we just build something that works for us instead of against us? Can we just be part of a country and an economy that helps people rather than works against them? What is it? What was it? We used to wage wars on poverty, not poor people. That's all that we want to get back to. Instead of pointing fingers at poor people, let's wage wars on poverty, right? Bubbles, I'll tell you why you are wrong. Because the person that is born to the factory owner and the person that is born to the factory employee are going to get different skills, and they did not make that choice. The person born to the factory owner is going to go to the best schools because they live in a more expensive house, because our entire education system is based on your stinking property taxes. So I would agree with that if we gave everybody the exact same opportunity to have the exact same education and get the exact same skills, because we get our skills from our education, we get our skills from our school system, because by the time you're 18 or 19, you have the majority of your soft skills that you need to make money. So you are saying that, hey, even though these kids did not choose the quality of the education they received, they are responsible for fixing it, no matter if they got a good education or a bad education. And that's all that we're saying, is that the person that was born to the factory owner is going to, and that's where, if somebody does not get the proper education and right at age 18, they need to start going to work full time. You are just, it's so sad. So this is really what it is. If people don't get it, we can give them a little bit. Bubbles is being very kind and helping. We can give them a little bit. But the moment they are not talking in good faith, we move forward, right? So, and that's where, here's the final part, right? When people see the problem with the system, that the economy is captured, that the media is captured, that the political process is captured, they just give up, right? No, Luke, it's not too late now. And I would say that feeling is a big part of the problem. Because we act like, oh, we're all special. This is the only time in history that the ultra wealthy have taken over things. No. This has happened before. It'll happen again. And we literally do the exact same thing that we have always done when the ultra wealthy take more than their fair share. Because that's all it is. The ultra wealthy took more than their fair share. If America was 10 people that made 10 slices of bread, then one person would take 5 of them. That's the only one. Think of America as 10 people that made 10 slices of bread. That's our economy, 10 slices of bread. Well, one person took 5 of those slices. And we're like, no, it's too late. Oh, it's over. We can't move on. One person took 5 slices of bread. Just fucking fix it. all these things have been created by humans, have been put there by humans. They can be changed by human, right? That's all. Because these corporations were not always in control of all the food that we own. These corporations were not always in control of all the healthcare. But even then, that's the big difference, Liza B, is that the robber barons of old understood that their company's health relied on the community's health, right? That's really all it is. The company's health relies on the community's health. But as that robber baron, got more and more disconnected from the community, because that's all that really happened. The people that live and serve in the community, or the people that live in the people that offer the services that the communities depend on, they should live in the community too. Because if you're running Flint's water treatment plant, and you're the one getting the water from Flint's water treatment plant, well, you're going to make sure it's fixed a lot faster, right? That's the whole thing, is when you are living in the community that you're providing goods and services to, you have more accountability. You're held more accountable. And that's the issue. So All right, y'all. I might hop down and hop back up here because they are not really feeding us anybody else.
The fun just keeps going. The new. My name's Jenny. I'm gonna hold. Let's talk about Canada. There's absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're seventh in literacy,